today we will conclude our testimony on House Bills 4980 through 4985, as well as House Bill 520, and move to report these bills out of committee. We do have some substitutes, and I would like to take the first one right.
Well, that's an amendment. The amendment to the substitute. So if you want to.
All right. Why don't we do this? We do have, who's going to speak on, we have 4980. There's a substitute that's coming in. 4980. Tom, was that yours? Okay, Senator Barrett, why don't you go ahead and speak on the substitute that's on?
Sure. I appreciate the collaboration, Mr. Chair, through your office and with you on this and the other stakeholders. Thank you for your willingness to engage on the concerns that I had. Most specifically was around the issue of restitution. I did not think it was fair to expunge the record of an individual who had not at least made an attempt to try and exhaust the restitution that they owed a victim. I understand that there's some complications with doing that on a automated basis because of the lack of state system to track that. So within the substitute, it basically says that if a person's conviction is set aside and the victim goes to the court and makes a case that a good faith effort has not been made to pay the restitution, then that set aside would be reversed. It also allows, if the set aside was done erroneously, that could also be reversed as well. There was not clear language in the bill before that. And then the other piece that was added in was the attempted crimes that were enumerated that would not qualify for this automatic set aside of a conviction. Right now it would be in the substitute, it says it does not apply to a conviction recorded and maintained in the Department of State Police database for the commission of any of the following: assaultive crime, serious misdemeanor, or crime of dishonesty, or other ones of these that are listed. Within that, it also says the commission or the attempted commission of any of the following. So the substitute brings into place the attempted crimes that would not qualify for a set-aside either. I think both of those move this in a positive direction. And with that, Mr. Chair, I'd move to adopt the sub if you're willing.
I know we have testimony on it. I understand it. I'm going to adopt the sub, though, and entertain another motion. I know Senator Irwin, you are offering that amendment also? Yeah, I want to adopt the sub, and then I'll come back to it.
Can't amend it until it's sub.
Right, got to sub it first.
And triple stamp a double stamp. Everybody knows that.
That's right. That's right.
John? Okay, before we adopt the sub, we should adopt the amendment. Why don't we do this? Senator Irwin, speak to your amendment on that same bill.
Sure. This amendment, attempting to, I guess, adopt the main bill before we take up the sub, is to fix what I see as a limitation in the proposal. There are many, many, many crimes that are exempted from this, and apparently the sub is going to add even more crimes that are exempted from this. One of the crimes that's exempted from the opportunity for clean slate is resisting arrest. And in my county, this is the third most charged offense. It's an add-on to most charges. And the way that police have charged resisting arrest and prosecutors have charged it has dramatically changed over the course of the last 30 years. It used to be that these charges were laid down very, very rarely. Now they are laid down as a matter of course. And so we have a tremendous number of people in the state of Michigan who have arrests for resisting or obstructing arrest, and that is not an assaultive crime like these other ones that we're trying to exempt, like murder and rape and whatnot. This is someone who maybe moved their arm a little bit when they were putting the cuffs on, and now they've got a charge. We should provide relief to those people, and so I offer this amendment.
Thank you for the testimony on your amendment. Is there any questions of Senator Irwin? See none. Madam Clerk, take the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
No.
Senator Vanderwall. Senator Barrett.
No.
Senator Johnson.
No.
Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to adopt the Irwin Amendment number 1 to the S4 version of House Bill 4980, there are 2 yeas 5 nays. The amendment is not adopted.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Irwin. Thank you, members. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now, I think without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take up the S4 version. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll? That's 490.
Number.
Sub 4.
This is the substitute I talked about.
Oh,
For 4980.
I have an amendment also. Yes, I'm sorry. We've got a typo that needs to be, we've got a typo, members, that need to be corrected. So I'm offering my S4 to clean up and strike the typo off for the bill at line 11. Madam Clerk, if you have any questions, can't be any more. It's something that we need to take care of, housekeeping. No questions? Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
So this is adoption of the Lucido Amendment Number 1 to the S4 version of 4980. Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to adopt your amendment, there are 7 yeas and 0 nays. The amendment is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. Okay. Now, I will now entertain a motion to adopt the S4 version of House Bill 490 as amended. Motion made by Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to adopt the S4 version of House Bill 4980, there are 3 yeas, 1 nay, 3 pass. The substitute is not adopted.
Move to reconsider at this time. We are at ease for a moment. Okay. Motion for reconsider has been now moved to. At this time, Madam Clerk, would you recall the roll? Yes,
We're
yes.
voting on the,
Motion for the reconsideration.
so Chairman Lucido offers a motion to reconsider the vote by which the S4 version of 4980 failed. Excuse me, I need a clean piece of paper.
Take your time, Madam Clerk. I know we have a lot of paper on this.
All right, so that was Lucido motion to reconsider.
That's all it is. Not the bill itself.
So the motion to reconsider the vote, Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead.
Just to clarify, this is to,
This is the motion now. We're
adding
Reconsider
in
the
the
vote.
cleanup language of the, and that last vote, just so I'm clear, is that,
cleanup language. I'm sorry. To adopt a sub. To adopt a sub.
yes.
Thank you.
Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to reconsider the vote, there are 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. Now, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the S4. Motion made by Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Excuse me, which bill are we voting on then?
We're not voting on a bill, we're just about,
S4
Adopting the sub.
version of 4980. The sub, S4 version of 4980.
right, we have some testimony before any votes on the bills. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to adopt the S4 version of 4980, there are 5 yeas, 1 no, 1 pass. The substitute is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. Got a couple more to go on substitutes. We should probably take some testimony. I know that we have the Lieutenant Governor that wants to speak on that bill particularly, as well as some other members. Approximately how long before the Lieutenant Governor stages himself before the committee? Okay. Okay, when you call them up now, we're going to adopt 2 other subs that need to be adopted, and then we can bring them up on the testimony. Thank you. We do have another Senate substitute for House Bill, strike that, for House Bill 4982. Who would like to speak on 4982 on the substitute? Yes, I guess I will, Madam Clerk. This here is a criminal set-aside process for the marijuana-related offenses. This sub-2 was offered by committee member as it relates to the criminal procedure, the set-aside process for certain marijuana-related offenses. Now that we've legalized marijuana, I think that this is part and parcel of what we're going to have to do, necessary. It's nonviolent crime as part of the package. So, I will entertain a motion at this time to adopt this substitute for House Bill 4982. Do I have a motion for the S2 version? Senator Vanderwall, thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
This is to adopt the S2 version of House Bill 4982. Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Yes. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to adopt the S2 version of House Bill 4982, there are 7 yeas, 0 nays. The substitute is adopted.
Thank you. Sure. I got to go to, yeah, next one more substitute, and then I hope the Lieutenant Governor is with us.
This is the S2.
I have another one on Bill number 4985. We have an S2. Okay, 4985. It's another technical change. Evidently, we found some things that didn't relate or were in conflict with some of the other statutory provisions on the 1-year misdemeanor offense and some of the other language that dealt specifically with the penal code. Good. Now, I will need to entertain a motion to adopt the S2 version of the House Bill 4985. Need my specs. Motion made by Senator Barrett. Thank you, Senator Barrett. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
To adopt the S2 version of House Bill 4985, Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead. Yes. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chair, on the motion to adopt the S2 version of 4985, there are 6 yeas, 0 nays, 1 pass. The substitute is adopted.
Madam Clerk, I believe that's all the housekeeping regarding these substitutes.
Correct,
I hope.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Gotten those out of the way, members, that's a good start for today. And the Lieutenant Governor, please join us. Welcome to committee. It's an honor to have you, sir, and to see you in a lower form than up on the rostrum. Welcome this afternoon. Thank you. Somebody get a picture of this.
Honor and privilege to be here. All of you, with the members of this committee, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to come and to speak with you and to work with you. I know that each one of you and your staffs and our teams have put forward a lot of effort on this package that I'll be discussing today. This really is an honor to appear specifically about House Bill 4890, or Clean Slate, as it is sometimes referred to, a policy that I truly believe is of the utmost urgency and importance to our communities and to our economy. We've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of work together. I personally have been working since last year with our executive agencies to get this to a place where this policy is written in a way that is both implementable and cost limited. And just to speak a little bit from experience for those who may not know, I come to this role that I now serve in with a background in creating technological systems, creating them in a way they're implemented effectively, which I've been doing since the beginning of my career at Microsoft as a software engineer, and build the largest and fastest growing business in the history of that company. Knowing how to make systems work is something that I take great pride in. I've convened and facilitated key leaders from each of the critical agencies, the Supreme Court Administrative Office, the Michigan State Police, the State Department of Technology Management and Budget, the Attorney General's Office, and the Michigan Department of Corrections on a regular basis to work through what implementation of this package, particularly of House Bill 4980, will look like and how to ensure that the process goes as smoothly as possible. Our agencies have refined the implementation process in the bill based on their deep knowledge of state information databases and administrative practices, and those changes are reflected in the substitute that you are considering here today. These changes make House Bill 4980 stronger and clarify points of its implementation. None of us want to pass laws that do not or will not work. This one will. It is rare to have a policy before you that is the result of so many months of cross-agency and diverse stakeholder collaboration and engagement. And I am proud of the work that our devoted public servants in our agencies have put forward in developing the most workable process for Clean Slate. Now, I'm committed to continuing this work to make sure that we're working on options to even find more ways to implement this policy in an even more cost-effective manner, and by finding the right funding source for this policy implementation. There also is economic impact that we have to think about. In light of the public health and fiscal crises that our state is weathering right now, it is important to remember why Clean Slate is an economically logical and urgent policy. We cannot afford our commitment to a law that simply doesn't work, or worse than not working, would actually cost our state tremendously. We waste tax dollars with the inefficiencies of the current petition-based process that is not even producing the relief it's meant to. You heard 2 weeks ago from Prosecutor Sonia Starr that only 6.5% of Michiganders get a set-aside within 5 years of becoming eligible. We also lose millions in tax revenue every year by locking thousands of qualified workers out of our economy. Clean Slate just makes sense. And it's never made more sense than right now in the face of the economic challenges, unlike the likes of which many of us have never, ever seen. We cannot afford to not expand our workforce if we have any hope of keeping Michigan in the game. The package before you represents a rare opportunity in legislating. This is a policy that will actually touch every corner of our state, our counties, every neighborhood, every family. Because when Michiganders are allowed to thrive, our whole state thrives. Our children thrive. 1 in every 2 children in America has a parent with some sort of criminal history. Let me say that again. 1 out of every 2 children. We've heard from Michiganders in every part of the state about the impact that having a criminal record has had on their lives. A man from Port Huron, for example, shared that I have no idea where to even start with expungement. I know that I don't have money to hire an attorney to ask to help me. A woman from Bath relayed her fear that the career progress she'd made despite having a conviction might now be lost because of the economic impact of this current crisis. She says, I spent a very, very, very long time feeling like I'm going to be stuck making $10 an hour because of my conviction. When my company went under, I was making about $65,000 a year. After COVID clears up it might be tough for me to jump back into $65,000 a year. No telling. It definitely frightens me and my ability to provide for my family. It does not have to be like this. Our expungement system should not be discouragingly complex. You shouldn't have to hire an attorney to access rights that you've earned by remaining crime-free. Qualified workers shouldn't have to worry about where their family's next meal will come from because of a mistake they've made in the past. We can do better, we should do better, and we must do better. Senators, what you have before you is a real opportunity for Michigan to lead with the boldest, smartest clean slate policy in the nation. It is an opportunity to make our government work better for Michiganders, something that I am committed to as a public servant. It's an opportunity to keep children clothed and fed so they can be the best students, the best learners, and the best people they can be. It's an opportunity to allow families to secure roofs over their heads. It's an opportunity to put people back to work when they've never needed it more. At this moment in time, we confront the deepest jobs crisis our state has faced in decades. We have a generational opportunity to expand job, training, and education and service eligibility and opportunity. At this moment in our history, as we confront cries for justice from communities across our state, we offer this platform to deliver equitable opportunities to people who have lived up to their commitments of accountability. At this moment, as this legislature confronts existential questions regarding how we build systems that create public safety that is understood and experienced by every Michigander, let us be the leaders our constituents elected us to be by punctuating our residents' interactions with our justice systems with commas, not periods, opening up the possibility for people to compose a future story that is brighter than the mistakes of their past. With that, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I thank you for your time, for your work, and for your consideration. I look forward to working with you to make this a successful implementation of this bill and the Clean Slate policy in the state of Michigan.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. I appreciate you coming out this afternoon. I know how sincerely passionate you are about this package. We've had off-the-record discussions, and more importantly, we've had time to dwell on what the ultimate result is, which is putting people back to work, meaningful jobs, and not just stuck in a time warp. So thank you. Are there any questions of the committee at this time of Lieutenant Governor? Seeing none, I thank you for your testimony, and it's always great to see you again, and welcome to the small chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the committee.
Have a good day. At this time, the next testifying is Judge Tom Boyd. Your state court administrator's office, but your new office is at the Hall of Justice.
Isn't that where it should be?
Wow.
You notice my knees don't hit this table quite the same way the lieutenant governors did?
There's a big distinction between yourself and the lieutenant governor. Go ahead. Welcome, Judge Boyd, and welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, members. I want to thank the chairman's office, thank Chairman Filler's office, thank the lieutenant governor's office, in particular Shaquila Myers, and thank your staff, John Shiflett. The state court administrator's office interest in this bill is to make it work, to provide technical support to the work that came over from the House, and we've spent a lot of time in the work group, as the lieutenant governor mentioned, to make sure that happens. Now, I do know many of you, but many of you may not know that in addition to having been a prosecutor, judge for 14 years, I also served as a representative of the Attorney General on the Criminal Justice Information Systems Board. I served as counsel to the Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. So law enforcement data is something that's near and dear to my heart. I've been working on it for over 20 years. The changes that are made in the bill, the substitute that was motioned by Senator Barrett today are substantial. This bill will work. Having said that, Mr. Chairman, all I want to do is offer the opportunity to answer any questions from any committee members about the technical changes that we did and why I believe that this is going to work and be much cheaper and more effective way of doing the process.
Judge Boyd, you and I have had, first of all, thanks for the testimony and being here to answer the questions, because a lot of times, sometimes a question has to be asked before we go ahead and get a vote. But at the same time, there's been a lot of dirt shoveled up, shoveled back in, shoveled up. I've heard the same questions over and over. I think Senator Barrett had a an amendment that made him feel comfortable and satisfied. I think the state court administrator's office is always interested in is, how can we make it better? What is it necessary to put the conduits together to have a smooth pipeline for this whole thing? Yeah, there's going to be some hiccups. I'm sure there's going to be. But at the end of it, that's what the legislature does. It makes changes to what they know needs to be made. I've been seeing you for many years coming out here, bringing forth some knowledge and inspiration to some of these lawmakers that have that same opportunity. So thank you. Is there any questions that the members have? Go ahead, Senator Vanderwall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for being here and willing to answer a couple questions. As you finish your statement, you said that this is going to make this bill, the substitute will make this bill much better, and it'll also make it cheaper or save money. Could you explain where we're going to see some of the savings in lines of the restitution piece, and then just a couple tidbits on why you feel it makes this bill very good? Thank you.
Certainly, Senator, and that is that I think the original conception is that a whole bunch of computers would have to talk to each other. Another role I've played is I was the chairman of the Trial Court Funding Commission. I also served as a member of the Joint Task Force on Jail and Pretrial Incarceration with Senator Unstead and Lieutenant Governor. And each of those committees, looking at different pieces of the justice system, looked at the inefficiencies in our current computer systems. Everybody's got a silo, and everybody wants their bucket to be taken care of. And so when you look at a problem, what unfortunately is sort of the standard problem solving is, what are the buckets that I need to take care of? And that's not really the question at all. The question is, what is it that the policymakers are trying to implement? So our role is to get in and cut through the baloney and say, what is it that the legislators want to do, and help them do it. So this draft doesn't have the computers talking to each other nearly as much as what came over to you, and your staff has done a great job working with the group to make it so that it doesn't have to do that. Every time computers don't have to talk to each other, that's less money that's being spent, less upkeep. So this bill, this draft, the S4, cuts down on the number of times computers need to talk to each other dramatically. Honestly, I think over the 2 years that the bill provides, we'll probably cut that down even more. The idea that you have to look at the system you have and make the new policy prerogatives fit that system is a bad model. We need to find out what you, the legislators, want to do, and we need to create an efficient way to do that. And this bill does a much better job.
Senator Barrett?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I apologize, when Senator Vanderwall was asking his question, I was following up on something, so this may have been somewhat the nature of it, but the restitution piece I know is kind of imperfect because of the inability to have a universal system for that. I'd like to see us get to a spot where we have a universal tracking system for restitution and an ability for maybe the court to serve as a clearinghouse where a offender pays restitution and then that is passed to the victim through the court so that there's that record taking place. Is that something you feel is feasible to be done and, not entirely too difficult to get everybody kind of on the same page where that could happen?
So, Senator, the Trial Court Funding Commission has 5 recommendations, the second of which is a uniform computer system so that you could track this information up and down. As I walked from the Hall of Justice, where I work, thank you, Mr. Chairman, as I walked over today, I was on the phone with one of our programmers to talk about decisions we're making today to make sure that we're not foreclosing opportunities in the future to provide that exact service for you. Yes, sir.
Okay, so a universal system would include a restitution facet to it?
Absolutely. Number three recommendation from the Trial Court Funding Commission is to centralize collections. And we could talk about this offline, Senator, but everything but restitution, because we want to keep that in the hands of the judge to give directly to the victim.
Okay.
I'd be happy to explain that to you at any time.
Just briefly, though, if somebody owed me restitution, would they send the payment directly to me, or do they send it to the court and then it's remitted to me?
They send it to the court. You never want the perpetrator and the victim having to be in that kind of direct communication, but they send it to the court, and it would still be, recommendation 2, in the central data system. So we're going to fix this in the next, honestly, Chief Justice McCormick came to me and said, let's implement trial court funding, let's work on the jail task force. And I've been here, yesterday was my 3-month anniversary, and I've been doing COVID crisis management ever since. So we're all going to work, we're going to turn the corner together, and we're going to work on these big policy prerogatives, and this is a good first step.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Barrett. Just to follow up on that, Judge Boyd, going through the motions as a probation officer, then an officer regarding the court system, and I know we have other people from the juvenile court here to testify on some bills. We all had to take the liberty of paying, our clients had to pay through the court system, whether it be restitution, fines and cost, any incidentals that may have been a part of the case, including the restitution program, because we wanted to keep it away from the victim and the perpetrator, if you will, and at the defendant. And at the end of the day, that they had the record right there, that they've had copies of the payments and even the oversight expenses with probation, all goes through the court system. So I gotta believe that Justice McCormick wants to have you do that and be the quarterback, if you will, to run the ball, to make sure that those systems are talking to each other.
Absolutely, but none of that's going to happen without the leadership of senators like yourselves and the folks on this committee.
And to Senator Barrett's point, you know, the victim that suffered, the restitution portion of the program should be made whole if, in fact, the good job is given to the person that had the record. Works part and parcel, so
It's a top priority from the Trial Court Funding Commission, and that's why it's set aside to be protected.
appreciate it. If there's any other questions, nothing from Senator Johnson or Senator Runstead? Nothing? Thank you very much. Members, we have some cards that need to be read in, and at this time, Madam Clerk, would you read in the cards?
Mr. Chairman, relative to House Bill 4980, Matt Saxton representing Michigan Sheriff's Association, opposed to the bill. Relative to the entire package, 4980 through 85, and House Bill 5120, Dave Wortham's representing Michigan Manufacturers Association, in support of all bills. Relative to House Bill 4980, Barbara Farah, GCSI, representing Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, neutral on the bill. To the entire expungement package, 4980 through 4985, Bill Wirtz representing Alliance for Safety and Justice, in support of all bills.
Thank you, Bill.
Relative to 4981, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 5120, the expungement package, Barb Farah representing GCSI, representing Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, in support of all bills. Relative to 4980 through 4985, John McNamara representing Urban Core Mayors, in support of all bills. Mr. Chairman, there was written testimony submitted and forwarded to the members by citizen Brian Woodman relative to the Clean Slate legislation 4980 through 4985. And this is in support of all the bills. And the last piece of written testimony submitted by Michigan Manufacturers Association, the Clean Slate package 4980 through 85, 5920, and they are looks like in support. I'm sorry, I had to read that. That is all of the written testimony. I believe that is all of the folks testifying via Zoom on the bill package.
I appreciate that, Madam Clerk, and thank you for shuffling all the cards up here, because I know with the cards and the papers and the emails and everything else that we've had on this, lots of space. Is there any other people that have pro-offed a card or any written testimony or anything else before the package is ready to be voted on? Okay. Seeing none, I know, I've got to go ahead now. I'm going to entertain a motion to report out S4 version of House Bill 4980 as amended, as a clean substitute to the floor with recommendation that the bill passes. Senator Vanderwall, thank you for the motion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Yes. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report 4980 S4 as amended as a clean substitute, there are 5 yeas, 0 nays, 2 pass. The bill is reported.
I'm going to make a motion to recommend immediate effect. Being no objection to immediate effect, it's so ordered. Next. Madam Clerk, I'm going to take a motion from Senator Vanderwall to report out House Bill 4981 to the floor with the recommendation that the bill then passes. Thank you, Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chair Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report House Bill 4981, there are 6 yeas, 0 nays, 1 pass. The bill is reported.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. At this time, I move to recommend immediate effect for House Bill 4981 without objection. That motion passes. This time, I'm going to take a motion from Senator Vanderwall that we report out the S2 version of House Bill 4982. Thank you, Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report out House Bill 4982 S2, there are 7 yeas, 0 nays. The bill is reported.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. At this time, I move to recommend immediate effect for House Bill 4982 S2 without objection. Same is passes. Madam Clerk, at this time, I'm going to take a motion, Senator Barrett, to report out House Bill 4983 to the floor with recommendation that the bill then does pass. Thank you, Senator Barrett. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report House Bill 4983, there are 7 yeas, 0 nays. The bill is reported.
And I move to recommend immediate effect on House Bill 4983 without objection. That motion does pass. Madam Clerk, we're going to take a motion, Senator Vanderwall, to report out House Bill 4984. Strike that.
4984, that is.
4984
Excuse me.
to the floor with recommendation that the bill then does pass. Thank you, Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall.
Yes.
Senator Barrett. Yes. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report House Bill 4984, there are 5 yeas, 0 nays, 2 pass. The bill is reported.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. I recommend that immediate effect be given to House Bill 4984 without objection. Immediate effect is given. Next, I will now entertain a motion, Senator Barrett, to adopt the we did that. To go ahead and report out House Bill 4985 with the S2 that's been adopted to the floor with recommendation that the bill then does pass. Thank you, Senator Barrett. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Johnson is a pass. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report House Bill 4985 S2 version, there are 6 yeas, 0 nays, 1 pass. The bill is reported.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Madam Clerk. And I move to recommend immediate effect for House Bill 4985 with the S2 without objection. So passes. The last bill in this package is House Bill 5120. That I will now entertain a motion from Senator Vanderwall to report out House Bill 5120 to the floor with the recommendation that the bill then does pass. Thank you, Senator Vanderwall. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Chairman Lucido.
Yes.
Senator Vanderwall. Yes. Senator Barrett. Senator Johnson. Yes. Senator Runstead. Senator Chang. Senator Irwin. Yes. Mr. Chairman, on the motion to report House Bill 5120, there are 7 yeas, 0 nays. The bill is reported.
And thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, members. I move to recommend immediate effect for House Bill 5120 without objection. That motion does then pass. Wow. Thank you, members.